Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. I'm Kari Hawker-Diaz.
And I'm Alora Murray.
Okay, so I know we both love reality TV, and have you seen the show Selling Sunset?
Absolutely. I love those reality realtors.
They're good. They're fun. Do you have a favorite on the show?
I do, and honestly, it has always been Mary. I've always loved Mary. I feel like she is the down-to-earth one, the one that tries to talk to everyone, tries to get both sides of the story.
She's just a loyal friend, too. Doesn't
I love that, yeah.
I feel like that really comes off. Like, you just know that she's going to be loyal to you. She stands up for her friends. So on this week's episode, I talked to Mary Fitzgerald, who you just mentioned is your favorite. She's one of my favorites, too.
I did not say that because I knew she was going to be on the show. She legit is my favorite. And if she wanted to be my friend, I would really like that.
But that show, Selling Sunset, it's such a fun show. If you're into real estate, you will love this because you get to see the most beautiful, luxurious homes in California. And there's a little drama dabbled in there.
Oh, I mean, a little, sometimes a lot. It's really entertaining, even if you're not into, looking at houses and all that stuff. The show is just really fun. Their set of characters is amazing.
That's so true. And it is what it's about, the characters. And I loved talking with Mary. Should we give it a listen?
Let's do it.
Okay, I am so excited to introduce our guest to all of you. It's Mary Fitzgerald from Selling Sunset. Mary, we're obsessed with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, I want to start with the luxury real estate game because that's what we see on Selling Sunset. How did you get into selling real estate in the first place?
Well, when I moved to LA, I moved around like every single year. Because I just fell in love with all the different pockets and all the different architectural styles. And it was just so exciting to me to find like these really cool, and they were just apartments at the time. Mm-hmm. But just these different pockets and different vibes in all the different areas of LA, because we have a lot. LA's huge. And I would move around constantly. And finally, after probably, I don't know, way too long, I decided to just get my real estate license and do all of this for other people instead of uprooting my own family, just to get my real estate fix. Because I got so excited. I would just look at new properties all the time and go look at them in person. And finally, I just decided to make the switch. I got my license and I was living out in the South Bay at the time and Palos Verdes. And then I just moved from Palos Verdes to Hermosa Beach. So that's where I started at Shorewood Realtors in the beach cities, and it was in 2008, and I thankfully did pretty well because it was when the market crashed. And but I just tapped into my gym resources and my son's school, like all the parents and friends, and I did well in the first year. I sold, I believe, 4 homes that first year, which is really good for a new agent, especially in the midst of the whole market crash.
Sure. Yeah, that's amazing. And did you always sell luxury real estate? Because we see these homes on the show, or should I call them like castles? They're incredible. Did you always sell luxury, or did you kind of move into that department?
I've definitely moved up over the years, but I believe my first sale was around 700 and I don't even remember, like 780 maybe.
Wow.
700,000. And it was a townhome, met the owners at an open house, and then they sold theirs. They bought a new property closer to the beach in Hermosa, and that was 1.2 million. Beautiful new construction. And then I did a couple others that were like little condos, but nothing in LA is cheap. So when I say it's like, kind of starter homes or like a small condo, it's still, around 700, 800,000, like minimum. And then I guess I just worked up. I had a 8 or 9 million listing right when I started with the Oppenheim Group.
Woo.
But I would say my kind of bread and butter is like the 2.5 to 4 million price point, but then there's always the 10 million, 15 million, and then recently 35 million
Ooh.
Sales, and those are amazing, but you can't expect those on a daily basis. So it's always important, I think, to recognize where it brings you, like, your daily living money.
Yeah.
And kind of keep grounded a little bit. But I've definitely worked up from when I first started.
That's awesome. Sure. That's awesome. Well, if there are some young real estate agents out there or someone looking to get into the game, do you have any advice for them? Because obviously there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, for sure. I highly recommend starting with a brokerage or starting on a team, either as an assistant or at least on a team where you can just sit and learn. Don't be cocky right from the start. You just have to be a sponge and learn everything you can from the people that have figured it out and are successful. Have a mentor that can guide you, because when you get your license, you essentially know nothing. Have no idea how to do anything, how to fill out the paperwork, just the tricks of the trade. And so if you start with someone that really knows what they're doing, you're going to pick a lot of tips and tricks and just learn the industry and how to communicate with the other agents and the right way, instead of fighting them all the time. I see this a lot with new agents. They want to, be really firm and strong and show their power. Mm-hmm. And in reality, those are your friends. You need to work with these people because they're the ones, you guys are all on the same team, and everyone has the same goal. You want to close the deal. And so you need to work together, not against each other. Obviously, you have to fight for your client and what they want, but there's a way of doing it where you kind of become friends with the person. And if you're up against a multiple offer situation, whatever the listing agent is, they're like, oh, I've worked with this agent before. I want to work with them again. They're great. So you want to make friends. It's a small community.
Yeah, you got to have a team. You got to have people that like you and, they'll help you out, because we're nothing without friends and coworkers that can help us, right?
Exactly. You have to kind of build your name, build respect within the real estate community, and where they know that you can get the job done. You're not just going to fight them at every step along the way.
Sure.
You'll fight clients and what they want, but you know how to get the deal done, not just blindly argue for no reason.
Right. That's really good advice. That's awesome advice. Thank you for that. And before Selling Sunset, the show that you're currently on, did you have any experience filming reality TV or like being on set or in front of camera or any of that?
Not really. I mean, it's so embarrassing, but there was a couple things way back in the day, like 20 something years ago, when I first moved to LA just for some extra cash. I did something on Hot or Not, something like that. and then
I totally remember that.
You do? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Lorenzo Lomas told me I had fat knees, and Rachel Heimer was like, oh, you're so mean. What are you talking about? Don't listen to him. And so ever since then, I'm like, do my knees look fat?
Well, they don't. Just so you know, they don't, if you were wondering.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you. And then there was something else. What was the show called? It was Ashton Kutcher. He did some prank show.
Oh, it was called Punk'd.
Yes.
I remember that.
Okay, so I did one. It's so embarrassing. I did one with Justin Timberlake and Kelly Osbourne. And I had this episode where I was one of these girls for a music video, and Justin is like, oh my God, this is not what I'm thinking. And we had to come in like dressed super tacky, and it was so silly. But I did 2 of those things just like for extra cash. But I've never been in front of a camera other than that.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And now we're all going to Google that episode to see if we can watch it. That's amazing. Was it weird to get used to the cameras with your everyday work life, with, selling real estate? Was that weird to bring cameras into your profession?
Absolutely. And now I'm used to it, but in the very beginning, I can look back and I still remember feeling like I was okay. And then once I would start talking or get in the scene, I would just start shaking and my lip would start quivering.
Oh no.
Shaking. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually really nervous. And I thought I had it under control, but just like the nerves took over. Now we forget. We're so used to it now.
Yeah.
We just completely forget like that they're there most of the time, unless they want me to start talking about some sort of drama, and then I'm like, nope. And I pull
Good
back.
For you.
Yeah. I still get really uneasy if there's drama involved, but otherwise, if we're just sitting having a conversation in the office, I forget the cameras are there.
You're used to it now. Well, how did they originally? Yeah. Did they approach? Was it the Oppenheim group they approached, and then you were kind of already part of that?
Yeah. Adam saw us in the Hollywood Reporter, and it was just a brokerage photo. I think Jason advertised for something, and it was a brokerage photo. Adam DeVillo saw the ad and our picture, and he was like, no way is this real.
Mm-hmm.
And so he called Jason up. Jason had already turned down a couple other offers for a show, but then Adam came in. He had a different idea for a show, and he has just an incredible reputation within the reality community.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's just a mastermind of reality. And so his idea we kind of liked. So we decided to go ahead and do a sizzle reel. He pitched it around. They interviewed everybody in the office, because we do have more agents than what you guys see. But they interviewed everybody, decided on who they want as a potential cast, and they pitched it around. Netflix ultimately picked it up, and now we're on season 6.
And here we are. Do you have a favorite part of filming your show? Is there a favorite thing? Is there something you just love about it?
I think my favorite part is just getting to be with all of my really good friends, like on a daily basis. And I mean, just to be honest, it's such an incredible opportunity. So many things have happened since then. We all have so many just opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise. Mm-hmm. And our life changed substantially. And so being able to do it with all of our closest friends is just really special, because we also have those people to confide in and, and talk to when things are tough, because it's not always easy having your private life out there for the public, weighing in on it and commenting and criticizing. It's not easy. It's a lot of fun, but there's also, really tough times. And being able to do it with our best friends is just very, very special.
That is special. Yeah, you can see you definitely have a wonderful relationship with Chriselle and Amanda, and that would be a fun part of filming, is just being there with your people, right? On the flip side, do you have maybe your least favorite part of filming?
My personality is, I have to step outside my normal personality, and it's very, very difficult for me. If I don't agree with someone and it's none of my business, or if there's drama going on around me, I typically just take a step back and I separate myself from it, and things just kind of move on. And that's what happens in the real world. On a reality show, I've come to learn that you can't do that, because people want to know what's in my head and what I'm thinking. And so I can't just keep it like internally. I have to actually verbalize it. Mm-hmm. And that's difficult for me, because I don't like I don't like getting involved. I don't like saying anything negative. So my kind of motto is, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, and treat others as you would like to be treated and stuff like that. And you're not allowed to do that, because something did happen. The public is seeing it. And so I have to verbalize what it is I'm thinking and feeling. And I don't want to.
That would be tough.
Yeah, it's torture for me. So, and I'm always thinking everything through, like 3 steps ahead. Like what is it? What am I saying? Is this going to affect me? How do I say it in the nicest way? Is it going to affect my friends? And producers are like, Mary, just say what you're thinking. And I'm like, no, I need to think this through first. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Well, you do a really good job with standing up for yourself and speaking up, but also like being classy and positive and being loyal to your friends. That really reads through. So, hopefully that's what you want it to be.
Well, I appreciate that. Like, I know I get comments and stuff a lot that I can't speak. I always stumble on my words. I'm like, no, I can speak if I want to. I'm just trying to think through how it's going to affect everybody in my life before I say something, because this is going out to the world, not to one person.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm perfectly capable of speaking.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, and I know a lot of people love seeing outfits and makeup and all of that. So my next question was, do you pick out your own outfits for the show, and how do you choose them if you do?
I always have until this season. I think all of us have kind of brought some stylists on board. We all have our own individual teams, not because we can't pick out our own, but because we're so busy. At least for me, that's why I had someone come in, because I've had so many situations where I'm out on showings, I've got a scene I've got to get to, and I come back and I'm like, oh my God, what do I wear? And it's all like wrinkled, because it's like I have something in my mind, but it's not steamed, and I just can't figure it out, and it's very stressful. So I'm like, I just need someone to come in, put it together, whatever I've got, put like the whole look together, have it steamed and ready so I can grab it and go. And so that's basically what I'm doing now. I know a lot of the girls are doing the same thing. We just keep getting busier and busier. And I think it's just very helpful. And, I think a lot of people are watching for fashion and stuff. And so it's fun to step it up a bit, take our own style and just elevate it in a way.
Yeah.
Be anybody I'm not. And so sometimes I'll get offers or they'll bring me certain looks. I'm like, oh no, I would be trying way too hard.
Absolutely not.
But I like to have fun with stuff, and it's just fun. People like to see it, and we all, I think, are in a place now where we can hire stylists to help out. And so, yeah, now we all do. But before, I would say last season, none of us really did, besides one person that's not on the show.
Well, that's nice to just have it done and ready. I can see what you mean for that, where it's like you don't have to think about it, you don't have to steam it, iron it, whatever. It's just ready to go. Well, and the outfits and shoes are so iconic. Speaking of that for the show, I always see when you are getting out of the car and going to like see a home or show somebody a home, and you step out of the vehicles and they're these amazing high heels, stilettos with like laced up and everything. But there's so many stairs and there's like driveways, there are hills, you're in the Hollywood Hills, so it's like, do you ever worry about getting, tripping or getting out of the car and like making yourself look good walking into that fantastic home?
Yes, we and we have a ton of bloopers. I wish they would actually put one out, because it would be hilarious. We are just as clumsy as everybody else, and and we have a lot of obstacles to get through in some of these homes. We've had our heels stuck in the cracks of decks. We trip over things all the time. just getting out, like our feet are, sometimes it's at the very end of the day. And I'm like, guys, please don't shoot my feet because we've been in heels all day long. It's super hot outside. My feet are swollen. And I'm like, I have kinkles. Please don't do this to me. No, we're doing it. So there are so many things that happen. And a lot of times if it does happen, they just start dying laughing. They're like, we're using that, right? And they do. They're kind of embracing all of the human kind of qualities of it,
Sure.
which is embarrassing, but it's funny at the same time. No one's that graceful and perfect all the time.
Never.
Glamorously into a home. It's like, oh, you like stumble and trip and scuff your shoe and all kinds of stuff. So
you mean you're human? Mary, you're human? That's crazy.
I know, right? I know. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Well, I wanted to ask you, is there one thing that you wish people knew about you that maybe they don't see on Selling Sunset?
Yeah, I think people can see that I'm not, it's obvious I don't like confrontation, but I seem very, very outgoing and very, I guess, like an extrovert in some ways, but I'm actually very much an introvert.
Okay.
Yeah, very much. And I'm always good, but whenever I go out, I always feel so bad. I can't go up and talk to people. If people come up and talk to me, I'll carry on a whole conversation. I have no problem. I love talking to people and love like meeting fans and stuff. But if I'm standing there and there's like, if somehow we're blocked off and people just stop and stare, I get so uncomfortable. I feel like an animal in a zoo, and I'm like, I have to leave, and I get so awkward. And so for anybody, if you see me out, just come up and say hi, and I will take pictures. I'll be friends. I'll be like, I'm all about it. But just being stared at, I don't know. It just does something to me where I'm like, I can't do this. I have to leave.
You know what? I think that's understandable. Nobody just wants to be stared at, right? So I think that's absolutely fine that you're that way. I think you handle everything with grace, and we're so excited for the upcoming season. Can you tease anything for us?
Yeah. So I know there's been some speculation that without some of the old cast members, there's not going to be drama. I can absolutely guarantee there is going to be massive drama.
Okay.
There are going to be incredible homes. We have a lot of fantastic real estate that we're involving in the show this season, and new cast members, which I think are going to be very, very interesting. A lot of different dynamics. We've all we're at different points in our lives from season 5, and you guys are going to see a lot of changes within all of us just personally. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really good season.
Oh, that's so exciting. Do we have an idea of when it's coming out? Do we know?
I don't know. Netflix is very, very secretive about that. We're like in the middle of season 6 right now, and so I would guess it's gonna be Marchish, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe February, but that's just a guess. Netflix ultimately decides. Whenever we finish filming, they edit and they send it to them for approval, whatever, and then we find out basically when you guys find out.
Okay, so you're like, this will be news to me.
Yeah, we just run our lives and get filmed doing it, and then we always find out like right around the same time. So I'm guessing it's going to be around then, but I'm not really sure.
Well, we're excited whenever it is. We're definitely excited for the next season. And okay, we like to wrap these interviews up with what we call the Fresh 5. You can say just what's off the top of your head. Are you ready, Mary?
I'm ready.
Okay, first one, favorite thing to eat?
Sushi.
Yum, sushi. I love it too. Okay, favorite holiday?
Like an actual holiday, or a holiday that I go on like on a trip?
Oh, that's good. Let's do favorite holiday, like actual holiday, like Christmas, Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, I love dressing up and just being able to be anybody I want to be, and there's no judgment.
So fun. So fun. And Halloween's right around the corner. That's fun. Okay, now going into the next question, favorite place to travel or take a holiday?
Oh, Italy, for sure.
Love it. Love it. And the last one, what are you most excited about right now in your life?
What's next for Romaine and I?
Love it.
Yeah, buying a house, having a kid.
That's great. That's great. Well, we hope that, you would join us on the show at some point, Fresh Living, whenever you're in Utah. If you are here, we would love to have you. You have a lot of fans here, a lot of people that just love you. And if we want to follow you, Mary, where can we go?
The Mary Fitzgerald on, I think, almost all platforms.
Okay, perfect. And we'll be looking for that next season of Selling Sunset next year. Mary, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure talking with you. You're just wonderful.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.